There are many potential settings that you can use with the GivEnergy system. Discharge, charge times, charge power, and you may have local control like Home Assistant or some sort of energy optimizer. Or you may have external control. Your energy provider may be linked to the system to tell it when to charge and discharge. All these potential control systems could be in place and can cause confusion sometimes, or conflicting settings. Or maybe it's just a bug in the system, a bit of a glitch that essentially we need to free up, so to speak. So how do we go about diagnosing this ourselves? Well, that's what this video is for. Think of it like basic maintenance. There's also a hardware version of this video. This is for software. So between this one and that one, you've probably got 70–80% of the issues that you may have solved. So please do watch that if this video doesn't help, and treat it like basic car maintenance. You can check your own tyre pressures, and if it's low, you put more air in. Now we could go through every setting one by one and we'll be here forever, because again, there are so many, especially if you've got external control from your energy provider or something like Home Assistant. So we're going to go straight to the end and do something which verifies that it's definitely not this causing the problem. And we're going to reset the settings back to default. Now for this, we're going to use the portal rather than the app, because the portal reset settings to default button is a little bit more in depth than the app version. So go to anything with a web browser and go to givenergy.cloud. Use the same username and password as you use for the app, and essentially it's another way of controlling the same system. So you can use the app or the portal or both. If you do have an energy optimizer or Home Assistant or something like that, then please turn that off or disconnect it at this stage, so again we can verify that it's not that that's causing the problem. So this is the portal itself. You may need to scroll down on the left side to find this card, but what we're looking for is My Inverter. So click on the expansion arrows here, and that will essentially make it front and center. We're looking for the Settings tab, which is here, and it's where you can set up your charge or discharge settings, which again you'll have to put back in place after we've flattened everything. After we've removed all settings, if you have a charge time at night, for example, this is where you can put it back in, or you could just use the app. Below the time charge or time discharge, you can see Reset Settings to Default. If you click on that and then click on Submit, it will effectively wipe out any charge or discharge slots, and that will verify that they aren't causing the problem, and again we can move on to the next potential step. We're now going to go over to the right hand side of this card onto this settings cog, and if you hover your mouse over, you'll see it says Remote Control. Click on that. You'll now get to this page, and what we're going to do is click on where it says Battery at the top. Please note that if you have a Generation 1 battery, this setting won't be available to you. After you've clicked on Battery, find the Pause Battery field and click on the refresh arrow. This will basically be this circle here. Click on that. That gets the latest setting from your system, and if it says not paused, then that's fine. We've checked this. It's not that. We can move on. If it says anything else other than not paused, then please click on the drop down arrow and change it to not paused, and then click on the triangle arrow, which effectively submits that setting. Wait about 10–15 seconds and then click on the refresh arrow again, just to verify that the current setting is indeed not paused. So once we've done those two, there's not much more to check at this stage in terms of basic diagnostics. Although I will show you one more thing, which is in a separate video entirely in the knowledge base, so feel free to watch that. But if you go right back to the top of this page and click where it says Jump to Logs, and this will take you to the Logs section of the portal. So change it from where it says 24 hours to, well, something greater than that. Let's say 1 month. And can you see anything in there which basically says what the problem may be? Now this could be something that you're unfamiliar with. It could be jargon, but it is typically in plain text. So if the battery voltage is low, it will say the battery voltage is low. If there's another obvious error, then it will say it again in kind of plain text. So if you do speak to your installer or GivEnergy support, you can say, well, I've reset settings to default, I've checked it's definitely not paused, and the logs are saying this. Now we're going to see if this has worked essentially. Has the weird setting or the pause battery or whatever it's doing, is it back to normal now? If at this stage the battery's still doing something odd, whatever that may be, there's too many variables for me to give you specifics, but if it's still not quite right, then assuming you've checked the hardware basic diagnostic video as well, this is probably a time where you contact your installer or GivEnergy support. Right, well that's basic software diagnostics. Hopefully that helps you understand the system a little bit better and you're now back online. So please do look at our knowledge base. There's a lot more in there than just fixing things, how to get the most out of your battery, for example, save more money. So thanks for watching, see you soon.